if you're paying attention and looking at what's around you, and you have good friends that do the same thing, it's amazing what you can come up with for just a little bit of effort and a little bit of sweat of your brow and a bit of an aching back. Today, we have assembled the chassis table that we need to build the frame for our 39 Dodge pickup. Today, we got to move this over into position and start getting things set up. I'll go over the design with you. It's all bolt together. There's a few more things we need to do to it, but we're ready to rock and roll all night and party once in a while. I'm getting old. Stick around. I'm Mike. You're watching My Car Shop. These legs are a little over 3/16 steel. I don't have an easy way to cut these. They need to be cut off at 28 inches. They're just kind of ham and egged on there right now just to prove my design. I also need to put a couple of cross braces in. I'm trying to make this 100% bolt together. What this is an old set of industrial steel shelves that Chris got, and he was told he could have because they couldn't find a way to dispose of it. And the best way to dispose of it was to let somebody have it that could use it. And we definitely both knew that this would make an ideal chassis table. I had no idea how I was going to design this thing. Yesterday, I went out in my steel storage building, dug these bits out, and realized I can make this thing entirely bolt together. It's also expandable, so it can be lengthened. We're only building the front half of the frame right now. I have 4 steel plates that we can put on here that are probably 30 inches by about 40 inches, half-inch thick plate that can set on here. I also have 4 53-inch by 1 foot T-blocks, if you know, or T-slot plates that can be put on here in places if we want to use T-slots and bolt things down that way to fixture everything. We've obviously got a lot to do, but the first thing I need to do is go over here and tear the 39 back apart again, and then figure out how the heck I'm going to move this over there. So this could be entertaining for you. Let's get after it. Well, that was a job of work to get that here. The floor here is not level at all. I was going to make, you saw I had made a board with a couple of casters. I was going to make one for the other end. I misplaced the one caster because I was using it for another project. It's right here somewhere. But I decided, oh, there it is. I see it now. But I decided that it wasn't worth the time to muck around looking for it. So, but that's the way I'm going to be able to move it. Ultimately, I want to put these casters on the bottom of the legs. And then when I do that, the table will be up a little higher, of course. And when I do that, my plan is to make some long bolts with steel plates that sit on the floor, and they'll be spaced out just enough that the impact gun can go and run those down and then get this table perfectly level. I'm going to get my level on the level and see how level off the level we are right now. But I'm guessing, yeah, by eye, I'm guessing this corner's high. We'll see. So let me get my level on the level and I'll level with you. Yeah, we probably need to come up about 2 inches on that side. And see, it needs to go that way just a little bit, but probably a 3-inch spacer on that side. So I don't want to do that yet because these legs are only temporary. I need to cut them off from down here up to here at 28 inches, and then they flip over and they get bolted on here the way they're designed to do. And then at the same time that I do that, I want to weld these casters down here somehow like this Um, of course, it'll be on the bottom end, but and then, like I said, I'll make an adjustment bolt probably out here that comes out a ways with a long bolt like so, and I'll just put a steel plate on the floor, and then I can just go around with my impact gun and level this thing up. My goal for this is to be able to make it so that it's mobile. So if I wanted to roll it outside for some reason to do something, I can do that. If I need to do something different here, I can just and move it out of the way. Yeah, that means setting it back up again. But the main thing with a chassis table is that as long as it's fairly square to itself, then the idea is you're building everything measuring off the chassis table. And so if it's 4 inches here, 4 inches there, 4 inches there, you're going to have a nice square frame when it's done. Yes, the table needs to be somewhat reasonable, but it doesn't have to be within 100 thousandths of an inch. So that's the goal. That's the way we're going. I'm going to need to do a little bit more cross bracing in here, but I'm going to show you the plates that I've got that I was mentioning. So I have 4 of those plates that can lay right across here, and I can actually attach those plates temporarily, just weld them right to the surface and get myself nice flat surfaces to work on there that I can actually weld standoffs on to weld the frame rails to get everything copacetic and nothing will be so pathetic. So that's pretty cool. And then I've got these other ones as well. I actually have 4 of these T-plates as well, so that if we wanted to do any kind of fixturing with clamps, which I have for the mill, we can put T-bolts in here in the T-slots and clamp stuff down. I don't know that I'm going to need those, but I love having the option of being able to do that as well. And there's 4 of those plates here as well, so that's pretty swivel. I have these 2 stainless steel cabinets, and I keep thinking there should be a way to incorporate those into our chassis table, but I'm not sure what for yet. So I guess it's going to depend on how far I go with chassis building. I have 2 to do right now. That doesn't mean there won't be more, but I could see these being great tool cabinets for chassis specific things that are just part of the chassis table at that point. So I just took a hot minute and quickly leveled it up just to see where we're at. Like I said, the legs need to be gone. My biggest temptation is to start getting the frame rails back up on here, but I know that's not wise. I need to force myself to get these legs done properly, the way they're supposed to be, and then determine whether or not I need to modify something up in here. I'm just not sure yet. So I think what I'll do is, we'll cut them off so they're here, and they run right to the ground, of course. And the height on this is pretty good by the time I put the frame up on standoffs. And it's pretty stable right now. So once I get those threaded rod adjusters done, I think we're going to be in good shape. Yeah, it's good progress. It's going to be snowing tonight, so I need to get the center shop cleaned up enough to get stitches back inside, because it's going to be a few days before I can get back out here again. I hate leaving things in a mess like this, but it's got to be done. I'll probably take a minute and just run the vacuum through the middle of the shop at least and get that sucked up, and we'll get stitches back in here. But I like it. I like the openness. I like the fact that I can get the cab out and work on it out there where you guys are at right now. So yeah, pretty cool. So my encouragement to you is think outside the box. Look for stuff that people are just throwing out that can work for a project. This frame table can extend out another 7 feet, 6 feet. So that goes out to 14 feet. That's a really long chassis table. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. It may need supports in the middle. We'll work all that out. But the reality is, for building the frame here on the 39, the Fundus truck, it's going to be pretty cool. So, all right, let me get that cleaned up and we'll get stitches back in, and I'll be right back. Don't go away. Don't go away. I got stuff to tell you. Well, that is a huge amount of progress this weekend for sure. Getting everything moved around, getting the cars all in position, getting stitches so it can roll in and out, getting this chassis table built, roughed in and in position. Yes, there's a lot that needs to be done yet, but there's a lot that's done that doesn't need to be done anymore. So I'm going to try to figure out a good way to those legs off. If not, Chris will bring his plasma cutter when he comes. My plasma cutter is not strong enough to cut that. So we'll figure it out. But if I can get those legs chopped off at the right height and get those casters welded on the bottom. I just found more bolts that are used to hold this together. Those may be the bolts that I use. They don't have a lot of throw, but with stacking up things, I can probably make them work. I don't know. We'll see. That's going to do it. Drop your thoughts and your comments down there. I always appreciate hearing from you, and every comment does boost us up in the algorithm. Also, welcome to all of our new channel members. Very cool that you're here. I'm going to try to be better about putting out members only content. I do put it out, but not as often as I should be, so I'm going to get better at that as well. I'm excited to share the next steps on this with you. I'm thinking I want to paint this thing while it's here. Not sure what color I'm going to paint it yet, but I think it would just look a lot cooler to be painted. So we'll see. I wished I had some of that blue, because that's a cool blue, but I've got some red. I know I have that, but we'll see. Maybe gray, maybe blue. I don't know. By the time you see this, it'll probably be painted. Yeah, channel memberships for as little as $5 a month, up to as much as you want. All kinds of behind the scenes content, bonuses, and other stuff. I really, really appreciate all of your support. Little by little, we're getting there, making this possible. For me, this is what I would love to be doing for you guys full time. It's not so much about what I'm doing here in the shop as it is sharing what I do so that it can inspire you, it can encourage you, and you maybe go, huh, I hadn't thought of that way before, or I hadn't thought of that, or I would never do that. All of that is a winner chicken dinner. All right, we'll catch you on the next one. I'll be here. You should too. Oh, I almost forgot. It's important.